success requires effort. It took away from me the luxury of the illusion of a perfect relationships. Yes, I categorize myself as a successful person, yes. It took away from me the luxury of the illusion of a perfect relationships. Do you understand this?
Can you please go a little deeper into that?
Okay. It took away from me the luxury of believing there is a normal, perfect relationships out there in the world. And it took away from me the luxury of believing there is a perfect life, like working 9 to 5, have a family, have children, everything is perfect like you see in the films. It took that illusion away from me. And my life is flowing, so I don't conform to a certain way of living. So it took away from me that being normal, let's say, if that makes any sense.
According to people's perceptions of
yes,
normal.
according to what they expected of us to be like. So the things that you see, how perfect families, perfect people, perfect life is, actually I don't have. And I think it's an illusion. So it took that away from me.
But some people say in order to be successful you must have a couple of pillars in your life. You must have family, you must have a good job, you must have good relationship with your friends, travel often, all these things. And you said it took away from you. And at the same time you are successful.
Yeah, it took the illusion. These things are important and necessary. What helped me to succeed?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, we need to understand what is success. It's one word. It's results. That's all. If you achieve results, you succeed. It's very simple. And you asked me, how did I succeed?
Yes.
Okay. I like to put things in little stories so to make things easier to explain. I was doing a seminar in Romania once. And there was a woman in the seminar, came to a talk. Sorry, before the seminar. She came to a talk. And she said to me, tell me, how did you succeed? How did you become rich? How did you do this? And I made a joke. I said, if you do the seminar, I will tell you. So she traveled a long way. She came to the seminar. And she sat through the seminar. And she's waiting, of course. And I didn't say anything. The last day, she put her hand up. She's a very clever woman. She said, you promised to tell me, how did you succeed? And do you know, I don't know how. But she helped me to know how. And there was about 200 people in the room. And I paused for a moment, and I suddenly realized how I succeeded. Because of her. And I said to everybody, nobody gave me anything. And I looked at the room, and the room was quiet for about 5 minutes. Everybody was in shock, including me. Then I realized, this is for me, of course, not for everybody, that the secret to my success, nobody gave me anything. So I learned how to give it to myself. It doesn't mean I don't receive support at all. It doesn't mean that. But there's a mindset I have that I can actually create anything. I don't have to rely on anyone. Again, I want to make it clear, because I support people to learn how to receive support. This is different. I think there is success requires effort, and while everybody is sleeping at night, I'm awake. If you know what that means. Yes. And I'm sure you may relate to some of this in your life. And when you look at someone rich and successful and say, oh my God, they have all this, maybe they should give me some, or why I'm not like that, we don't know what happened to these people. Maybe they had sleepless nights, maybe they worked all night, maybe they worked 24 hours a day. When you watch an actor on television or film, that really impresses you. and speak naturally and grabs you, you don't realize what this actor had to go through to get there. And the metaphor to use is every shot on a film, a minute can take a day, but we see the final product. So basically, success requires effort. It's true, you can achieve it. It's true, it's easy to achieve it, but also you do something to get it. So the bottom line for me is, nobody came and say, here it is, you can take this. Take it without any effort.
But that relates kind of to stoicism, that obstacle actually is the way. And when you see obstacles, it means that you're on the right path.
Obstacle could be the way to success, not on the way to success. They are not blocking you, they are the way. They are not blocking you. In fact, I don't wish obstacles to come to my life, but if they come, they are part of the journey. We read about these things a lot, but when they face us, it's different. Because we have a lot of knowledge at the moment about everything. But really the real test is what you do when it actually happened to us.
Speaking about obstacles and stoicism,
yes.
Do you remember the darkest moment of your professional career?
Yes, very well.
Can you share it with us?
Of course, of course.
And what did you take away from it?
I started doing the seminars in England. Yes, first time. And my English wasn't so good. And then I had to stand in front of a lot of people, English people, middle class, speak very well, and I nervous, and I stutter on my words, and one of the darkest moments, somebody put their hand up and he said to me, "Why didn't you go and learn English before you do this job?" In front of 200 people sitting in the room. You cannot imagine how painful that was, really. And somebody stood up and said, "I don't know what you're talking about." They told me this. And then I went home and I thought, really, do I really need to do this or what? And this was the darkest moment ever. There is a reason behind all this, because when I was young, maybe I was 6 or 7, our country had been bombed by the British and Israelis, and the first time ever in my life I see Englishman was the pilot of aeroplane. The airplane was shot down and he landed in front of our house. First time in my life, like a white man, blonde hair, landed in a parachute, and when he landed, everybody ran to catch him, and I happened to be turning a corner and everybody walking towards me, and I saw this man, and I thought, really, English people come from the sky. I really thought so. And I thought, these people are amazing. They really live in another planet and they are so intelligent. And then I go to England and I stand in front of these people trying to teach them something. Of course, even my little English failed to hold together because of my nervousness. And when this moment happened, and I went home, and I found out that I keep going back to these courses when I'm getting this feedback from people. And I asked myself, why I keep going there? So I rang a friend of mine, very close friend, and I was devastated. And I said to her, help me. Can you answer this question for me? Because I cannot answer it. Why do I keep going back there? And she said one line that changed my life completely. She said, the reason you go back because you know you can. That's it. I know where something in me know I can. And this sentence I carry with me everywhere. I have a dyslexia. You know what dyslexia is? Yes. I cannot write. And I could not speak very well. I went through the interview by accident, obviously. This is one of the things that always happen. And the first report I've written was, I spelled the name of the college wrong. The name already. And they pulled me up and they told me, we made a mistake. You should leave. And they, in fact, changed the law because of me. After that, he put in a lecture, you have to have an English certificate because you enter the university. And I said, I really want to do this. I'm not going because I want to do it. He said, you really can't even speak. And this is a psychology, and it's one of the top universities in England. And there was a meeting with the staff, and there was a woman sitting there, a professor in language, and she looked at me and said, I am so moved by you. I will help you. I will help you. I will teach you for free. And she volunteered her time. Now I'm going to cut the story short. This was many years ago. I am one of in 15 years, one of two people who reached the highest level ever in this university, and they invited me to teach in the end. Nobody reached that level. I reached the top doctoral degree in this university when they asked me to leave. Unbelievable, really. And they insisted it is impossible for me to actually pass the first year alone. And this is what happened. And this is the obstacle that we face. I sat in lectures at the university. I didn't even understand what's going on. And I couldn't even ask questions. So what I have done, I got a recorder, I put it in the front. I recorded every lecture for 5 years. 5 years. Every night, I sat and transcribed every single lecture, and with a dictionary next to me. Yes, and I have learnt English and a degree at the same time. And the dropout rate is so high. We started with 120, we end up 20, and I sat next to people who have degrees before English, middle class, and they told me this is too difficult, I can't do it. And I was the only person who could not understand what's happening in the room as well. To be honest, until this moment, I don't know what was driving me. But when I have reached my high success, I look back and I think there was like a force that guided me all the way, which I don't know what it is, like an invisible force that knew this is actually going to work out. But I cannot touch it or explain it or talk about it even. There was a comedian in London, very funny comedian, and everybody asked him, what is the secret? How do you stand in front of people and they laugh for no reason whatsoever? What do you actually do? And he kept saying, I honestly don't know. I really don't know. And he was determined to find out. He found out. When he found out, he was not funny anymore. You know what I'm trying to tell you?
Yes.
Okay. And I'll give you another metaphor. Gandhi, once, if you see the film Gandhi, you'll see there's a little scene. There was a big meeting, and they had a huge conflict. And they asking him, the people around him, Gandhi, we need an answer from you because we don't know what to do next. And he said to them, I'm just going to walk in the field and with his goat. Maybe let me walk for a bit. Gandhi was a bit like this. And there was two women following him, one American, one English. And if you see the film, you'll see that scene. They were having a conversation. And one woman said to the other, Gandhi has an incredible message to the world, but the world doesn't get it. And the other one told her, Gandhi doesn't get it either. And this is something I had never told anybody. There's a part of me doesn't understand what I'm doing, really. But the result, huge. I had a very, very difficult life. Very, very difficult. All the horrendous stories you hear in the seminars actually happened to me. Everything. I will not say details, really, at most. And I unconsciously started this work really to heal myself and others at the same time. But I didn't know that either. But I have discovered that on my way as I started to work with people. There's a funny thing used to happen to me when I was young, and I started making connections. Cairo is a bit like Bulgaria, very similar actually. we have a lot of cats in the street. I used to collect kittens in the street and put them in my bedroom and trying to give them food and things like this. And now I understand why. Because these kittens have no parents and suffering stuff. They were like about me, I guess. And I had such difficult situations, and I learned how it feels to be in pain. Really, how it feels. And I somehow decided that I would like to live in a world that people are not suffering as much, and receive as much help and support as they can. And I found out that in my journey I was getting better, and I'm making people better with me. And this is probably, maybe, one of the secrets of my success, because I can never be arrogant about my work. I can never be, because the people who have terrible lives and they cannot do anything about it, I have felt the same, and I've been through the same thing. And I had family circumstances that showed me that there are things in life that happen to us that very, very painful, very difficult, even though we may have caused it and invited, but we must have compassion for ourselves and our lives, and we need people to treat us the same way until we heal again. And that's kind of the other side of the...
There is a saying that be good to people, you deserve it.
Yes, it's true. Yes, that's good. Yes. Mm.
Obviously, everywhere you go, you need to form a team.
Yes.
How do you choose the people in your team? What do you look for?
Okay. There is two things, important, two things. I don't mean this word in a spiritual term, devotion. There are people come to this work for many reasons. Some come for their personal gain, and some come because they want to control situations, and some come because there's something in them, like their own mission, their own purpose is to, like I did. And these people, when they come and do this work, they come with an open heart and such a loving devotion in them, and this is the people who actually stay, and they feel this place is their home, and these people I look for, and they find me. I don't find them; they find me by themselves. In fact, just to divert a little bit, I strongly believe the people who come to the course, they find me. I don't find them. They actually find it. And I'll share with you something happened to me many years ago about this. So I look for the people who have this, I call it an extra factor, the X factor. You know, like this, they have that thing that not everybody has. And these people, no matter what happened, ups and downs, and they're not interested in this is a business or not. This is the people I look for. You know, and you have not done business courses, have you? There's a sentence, something I say is very important. I may have said it in one of the other courses. This may be a question you'll ask me later. If you work for money, if your business is about money and only money, yes, it's okay. But the people who work for you, if somebody paid them more money, they will go there. Yes. But if your business, if your work is about evolution and serving life, the people who work for you, of course they need money to live, but also they get that sense that their life has a meaning, and they will contribute to the work and make it better, and they will stay because they are evolving with the work itself. And I don't want anybody to misunderstand me. Money is very important, of course, because if your business make money, you will actually support life, like the things you're doing. You're supporting your people, you give them more, you help their families, it's supporting life. But this alone is not enough, because people need to inspire, they need, their life must have a meaning. Even what we're doing right now, this very moment when you're making this interview with me, and if it reaches somebody and they hear something that make a difference to their life, that means you are contributing to people's lives at this very moment as well. So this, I look for these qualities in people, and the people who don't have these qualities, no matter how good they are, they drop away by themselves. They do not stay. Okay.
How do you see us as a foreigner?
Okay. I give you different possibilities because I don't read the ultimate answer. Okay, but observations. First of all, there's an English expression says the grass is greener on the other side. You know what that means?
Yes.
Everybody thinks other countries better. We know we are the best country, but we think somebody is doing better than us. And Bulgarians have this, like every country have this. I don't know who gave the Bulgarians the idea that Bulgarians are negative. I don't know where it comes from, because I am not sure about that. Actually, Bulgarians are much happier than many other countries. Many other countries. There are countries in Europe, I don't want to stereotype any country, that the suicide rate is very high, depression is very high, anger is very high comparing to Bulgarians. It's unbelievable, really. I tell you what the issue here is. I can give you the advantage and disadvantages of what my observations. I'll start with disadvantage first. There seem to be, in some countries in Eastern Europeans, after the maybe communism, after these regimes that have been like the big brother controlling everything, there is maybe a mindset emerged that somebody up there must do everything for me. So there is an expectations that somebody out there must come and give us something. So not everybody, but many people in some Eastern European countries, and they expect that they don't have to fight for everything because there is somebody need to provide this for us. Not successful people, entrepreneurs, they think in different ways. But I think this is maybe behind why there's a belief that Bulgarians are lazy and not working. But let's go to the positive side about Bulgaria. I actually saw Bulgarians' intelligence is very high and very clever, and you have an extremely unique position. It does not exist in many countries in the world. Very unique. Now, you know, the world can be dissected into two extremes. There is a group culture and there is an individual culture. The extreme individual culture you see in the extreme West, when everybody think of themselves. I have to achieve this, I have to get this, and I have to get the group culture. Everybody think of the group. So people live in groups. This is the East. Both extremes have their own advantages and disadvantages. The group culture is really, you cannot emerge and you cannot be very enterprising, and you are at the mercy of what people think about you. Yes? And you have some of this here. And in the individual culture, people don't care. I will do this. What people think of me, it doesn't matter. I can be gay, I can be this, I can divorce, I can succeed, I don't care. It's the two, and everybody think, what is it for me? In a group culture, I think of my people. See? Now Bulgaria is in the middle, in fact. Being in the middle, it gives you great advantage because you can get the best of both. But you can also get the worst of both as well. So you have a very unique position here. I hope Bulgarians understand this. You have the great quality of separating religion from politics. Yet you still have the connection people have with the groups and people and families. So this will disappear, by the way, in time, because there is a feeling we need to be like the West. And Bulgarians are losing this wonderful balance, and they moving so fast to the West and be like the West, you see. But we're losing it very quickly. And if this can be maintained, it's very powerful. That if people understand, now I tell you where things go wrong. There's a complete contradiction in what I'm going to tell you. Group culture cannot work together. Individual cultures can work together. So in Germany, in a factory, yes, people follow what's supposed to be done. So they work in the group. Here, everybody think in a different way. You see? So they cannot work together. So the message for Bulgarians, if they can work together, they will be one of the most powerful countries in the world. Many years ago, humans had to live in groups for safety, understandable. So we lived in the wild. If we don't stay in groups, we are weak, and other animals can eat us easily. So we're together, powerful. So what started to happen is the group started to fall apart because we start learning how to defend ourselves without the group, weapons. So the group started to fall apart. So we formed families. It's a smaller group, yes. And as we evolved, families start to fall apart, and then we start looking for relationships, for support. Relationships start to fall apart, and what's next? Therapy is next, because we need support. We cannot be alone. You see, we are designed for connection. We are not designed for separation. We are the very first moment we come to the world, we connect to somebody else. We have to connect. And try it. Anybody watches can try it. When you talk to somebody, you look away. You cannot continue look. You cannot. If somebody look away from you, you will not talk the same way, because you lose the connection straight away. So we need that connection. When you connect to a person, you feel much more alive. When therapy started, also therapy is failing, because you are paying money to a person for the connection. This is something you don't pay for. So these courses started to take us back to the beginning, to when we were together. And the power of these courses is actually the people together in the same room. This thing happens multi-levels, but obviously it needs a person to control the situation. So in this world we live now, we worship youth and beauty. We lost the older people who guide us with their wisdom. You see, so the media have presented very beautiful young people, yes, and luxury cars, and we start worshipping this, and we've lost the wisdom. We need more Gandhis in the world. See? So the person who run the course represent the father we're looking for, the mother we're looking for, that will make us feel safe. And the people come together and they feel safe. They feel accepted. You know, I don't have to go out there showing people I have a big car so they can love me. I have a lot of money, they can love me. I want to go out there and show people how afraid I am and they love me so I can feel safe. But we cannot do that. We can only do this in a seminar. See? And because the real safety can happen to us when I am weak and loved. Not when I have impress people they can love me. That means I will be hungry all my life. I will be achieving more and more and more to show people how good I am, so they can love me. It doesn't mean there's nothing wrong with that, but that means I will be tired one day. You see, it's okay to have it. Because I say you can't have enough what you don't really need. It will never be enough. But we are seeking the same experience we're looking for the moment we arrive to this life. We're seeking people around us to be there for us at the worst moment and at the best moment.
The moment you tell people you are weak and you need help,
yes,
they grow strong and they want to help you actually.
You know, somebody stood in a seminar and said something. He said, I did the seminar 5 years ago and you told me, I told him, something changed my life. And I said, what did I tell you? Because I don't remember. He said, you told me I can be angry and be loved. I can't even remember saying that. And then I realized what I was doing, actually. Because, look at a child, very small child, angry, upset, happy, and there is somebody there for them to celebrate their happiness and to heal their anger and make them feel safe. And this person grew up feeling safe in the world. They don't have to prove to the world they are something. Yet everything will come to them. You see? And this is really the bottom line of my work, actually. Is to bring safety again to us, something I never had, actually, that I wanted to give and to receive as well at the same time. The first year of our life is absolutely, totally critical. Every moment of our life after that. If we didn't have these experiences, we really suffer a lot, and we try to do every possible thing to get it, including the wrong things. And some people succeed, of course, financially, everything, but there's something missing sometimes. And going back to all your questions all connect. Going back to Bulgaria, I hope the Bulgarians don't lose this loving connection the families have together. I hope they don't lose that.
Because I believe it's really important for people to be able to establish trust into others. That's how you do. That's in everything, in life, in business, in every relationship.
Obviously, I cannot answer this question clearly, but I can tell you what I may be doing that people trust me. I don't teach anything. I have no teaching.
You mean you don't try to pass wisdom, or?
I don't teach anybody anything. If I am a professor teaching something, see, knowledge is limited because you can always add to it. It's limited. So I am not in a position of a teacher. I'm not a position, when I am in a seminar, I never think these people, I'm better than them. I don't see it that way. The way I see it, we are together, yes, trying to find out who we are and trying to live a better life. And I had a quote once that touched me the most. It says, we must seek the company for the people who are looking for the truth and avoid the people who found it. I have not found the truth, and I maybe never find it, but I'm looking for it, and I'd like these people to come with me. So I never position myself as I know it all and you don't, because the things happen in my life taught me humility.
What is it that a young person can do, because he doesn't have the knowledge, he doesn't have all the experience, what can a young person do to surround himself with the right people to get the job done?
Okay. The right people will find him, will find her. If this person connected to himself or herself and doesn't want to do his or her business to impress the world, the people will find him, really. People find Gandhi, they find Mandela, they find these people who are most successful. If I ask you this very moment, if everybody watching this, think of the most successful leader in the world, you will always think of the person who made a contribution to humanity first. After, you will think about the people with the money, like Donald Trump and people like that. First of all, you will think of these people immediately. Look, why is that? Because really, if my intention is to serve life, the people who serve in life will find me. But if my intention is to be rich, impressed, and do this and other, I will attract this also. So I would say just trust your intuition and yourself, and trust that you're doing something good for the world. Our ego is very interesting, very interesting. In fact, if I didn't have any ego, I probably wouldn't get there. It's part of the package. It will give you the push to start, but it will not stay. If it stays with you, it will destroy you. but it will start you. If I didn't have any ego, I wouldn't have started this. But now I realize I don't need it anymore. But I need it for a time to give me the courage to push a little bit. So you know the famous saying, the ego is the a great servant and a lousy master. You know, it's both at the same time. So I would say to these people, if you have something to offer, trust that, and the right people will come. And don't try to change the world. That's very important.
Try to serve the world.
Serve the world, but don't change the world. They're two different things.
What was your inspiration as a child, and what inspires you now? Like when you were a small kid?
I was absolutely fascinated about how our brain works. And I was absolutely fascinated why actually we are here and what are we doing and who are we. And the most amount of inspiration I have is that I have sensed it very young, when I was young, that we are passing by in this life. Inside our bodies, we are passing by. And this journey is actually very short for us. And one day we will find out who we are. And this is my inspiration, to find out who we are and what are we doing here.
Call the 20-year-old Menis. What would you tell him?
I tell him one simple sentence. Somebody is guiding you. Let him.
That note, how it seems easy.
Yes.
It's you and it's guiding you because you've achieved so much and it seems like it's working.
Yes.
But if you're young enough and you don't know what's really guiding you, is it your anxiety, is it your emotion?
In 1970 something, I found a book, a yoga book, yoga philosophy, and I opened the first page, and it has this very interesting sentence. It's quite famous now. It says, "When the student is ready, the master appears." Have you heard that before?
No.
When the student is ready, the master appears. And then over the years, I realized it's missing one sentence. The master is you. You missed one sentence. So maybe the people who don't have any confidence, trust, they must know when they are ready, the master will appear.
Keep searching.
Yes. Keep moving. Keep moving. You see, and here's a metaphor. If you standing in a street and there is a road going this way and one going this way, and you really don't know which one to go, most people will stay thinking, if you go here, one of two things will happen. It could be the right one or the wrong one. If it's the right one, you succeed. If it's the wrong one, you know you go there. Very simple. It's just very simple metaphor. So now what's the answer? Is to keep searching, as you exactly said. And then you will hit the combination. You will hit the combination. And you see, all the 7 careers I had before, or 8 careers, helping me to do what I'm doing now. Because I work with people as an artist, not a psychologist. As an actor, as a businessman, as a translator, everything. I used to be a chef once. I am cooking the material. The same thing. I'm cooking, putting all the ingredients together. The same thing. It's like all languages are the same. If you speak 4 or 5 languages, you can speak 10. Because they all connect. Everything connects together. When I'm on the stage, I am cooking, I am acting, I am translating, I am a psychologist, I am an artist. They're all at the same time. I think. So nothing in life go wrong. If you do the wrong thing, here is the most important thing. It's part of the new one. Like I was telling you earlier, the wheel is part of the BMW. The wheel the Egyptians invented 3,000 years ago. It's part of the creation of the BMW today, or the Mercedes today. If something gone wrong, it's part of the new one. See? Nothing is wrong in life. Nothing. You hear about the most successful people in the world. Things terribly went wrong, but this was part of this success. The person who invented the light bulb, you know the famous sentence. Somebody,
trials.
Somebody told him, "You failed many times." He said, "No, they are not failures. They are steps to success." You know, it's very easy to talk about these things, but so many people give up too soon.
Just act.
They give up. Persistence is the art of success. The question that's really difficult to answer: when to persist and when to stop. That's the hardest question, really, because there are things we must stop, really. And I think this is where, when we connect to ourselves, with this career I'm doing now, I have never stopped. Other things I have, but this one not. And that was my feedback. When I kept going back to the seminars, when they were not working, and there was this driven, I think the word driven is harsh, I was like guided, something. Then when this person told me that this, I know you can, because you know you can, everything clicked. Yes, of course. It could be even cleaning the street, it doesn't matter what kind of job. It doesn't matter, really.